What up, Fantastics? I know it's really challenging to find a job here in Finland, but it's actually doable, and in this video I have a dose of motivation coming right your way. Because we have an interview with Malak, who managed to find a job here in Finland as a foreigner, and I didn't edit or cut this video that much because I wanted to keep this more like relaxed and very informational, so a lot of good stuff coming up. Make sure to watch it all the way and let's go check the video right now. Malak, thanks for joining for today's video. Can you give a quick self-introduction about yourself first?
Yeah, sure. My name is Malak. I'm 29 years old and I'm from Tunisia, Libya, let's say. And I'm an English teacher.
Okay, cool. So can you tell us like how or like why did you start to look for a job here in Finland in the first place? So what was kind of the motivation for that?
Before coming here, I was living in Spain, and I was there. First, I was doing my master's degree, and after that I got a job and I was working. But then the decision of coming here came from both personal and career reasons. Mm-hmm. So for the career one, as an English teacher, I read and I've seen and heard that Finland is very known for its quality education mm-hmm. and care for children and students. And if I find the opportunity to come and teach here, then I will be able to teach everywhere, basically. So yeah, since it's my profession, I thought that this is the place to be, to come and try if I can teach here. So.
Okay, great. And can you tell a little bit about the process on like how did you find your current job? So how did it go?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm currently working as an English teacher in a kindergarten, mm-hmm. but that was not easy, at least for me. Although for others, when I tell them that I found a job after 3 months, they say that this is very short period for finding a job here. But for me, I don't know, like since it took me a lot of preparation and a lot of research and work since I was in Spain, because mm-hmm. I started before even coming here. I found it, I don't know, after a long kind of process where I was searching, sending applications, asking people. And then I think what happened is that I started listing some schools like English or international schools here. And I mm-hmm. said, well, maybe I can send an open application mm-hmm. For them in case they need teachers for the next academic year. And then actually I got lucky because this place was looking for an English teacher mm-hmm. for the next academic year. Okay. And when I sent my open application, their director sent me saying that they are actually starting interviewing people and asked me to come for an interview.
So it was like an open application that...
For this job, yeah. But of course, I had to look through Indeed and many different, websites where they were posting jobs. And I must also say that I was not only looking for teaching jobs here was the last step, mm-hmm. because in the beginning, it also happens when you meet people and they tell you, oh no, you cannot teach because they have special criteria. So I got a little bit intimidated and I said, well, maybe I cannot start as a teacher here, so I can do something else.
So basically, you just found this position online, and then you just send an application, and then they just told like, oh, this girl seems cool, let's hire her.
Yeah, I listed on Google the English or international schools here, mm-hmm. and actually I got another opportunity for another the International School of Helsinki, I believe. But back then my hassle was doing the paperwork and not only finding a job. So it made my mission more difficult because I was looking for somebody who would offer me a job and the possibility to help me getting my work permit. So I got some offers. I listed the schools, and then I said I prepared an application where I introduced myself, my background, professional experience, and whatever. And I was sending them that application, attaching my CV, and many of them have answered actually saying that currently they don't need teachers, they have like the complete staff, but they would save my CV for future, need. Others said that they are actually looking, and that's how it happened. Yeah.
did you do the interviews like via Skype, or did you have to actually travel here for the interviews?
I was here back then. Actually, this is the thing that it took me in total, I don't know, 8 to 10 flights coming back and forth from Barcelona to Helsinki.
Wow.
Because I found other jobs. As I told you before, looking for a job in teaching was the last step. I was looking for other jobs, I don't know, English-speaking nanny, these kind of things, because of the fear that I may not be able to get a teaching job in the very beginning, like before coming here. Yeah, so I had to come so many times, but when I had the opportunity to have this interview, I was already here, so it was face-to-face.
So did you kind of came to Finland for the jobs, or like?
No, it came for a personal reason. I have my other personal reason, and I have people here, so I was here already. But that was the intention, that if I want to get a job here, it's better that I be here, because many employers get demotivated when somebody is sending an application from other country.
I see. Yeah.
And that's actually I could test it, and it worked, because when I was here, I got more responses than when I was in Barcelona, like applying from there.
I see. Okay, I guess it kind of makes sense. So if you're already here, it's kind of easier to maybe reach, and even if they want to meet you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I guess it makes sense.
Them more interested, I think.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Once the school chose you, like, how did the process of the work permits go? So you were living in Spain, but you didn't have like a EU residence permit or anything, so you had to get the work permit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So how did that go?
In Spain, I was able to work with my student permit, so that's how I went to Spain, since I was doing my master's, so I got a student residence permit, and with that I could work part-time. Then when I came here, it only allowed me to stay for 3 months, since I'm holding a European residency, let's say.
Yeah.
So the law allows you to go to any European country, like among the Schengen area, for not more than 3 months. So the idea, as I said, that my mission was more complicated, because I wanted to find the job, and the employer would help me. That would help me to get my resident permit. So during the interview, I talked about that part. So after we talked about the professional part of the interview, I could see that she was interested and in my I don't know, let's say skills. And then I had to tell her that, okay, I'm not gonna be able to work now, because when we had the interview, it was in March, and they needed somebody to start as soon as possible.
Right.
So I said, well, I would love to, but I can't, because I need to apply for a residence permit before starting working. And that's why I'm asking for the possibility to work for the next academic year, which starts in August.
Right.
So I said, if you would give me that opportunity, then I will have that time to apply and wait and get the answer and everything. And I must say, to be honest, that she was kind. I did lots of interviews here, and many people from them, I don't know, sometimes like they did not, well, they expressed their interest to help, but it's not possible because they need somebody to start as soon as possible. And in my case, it would, take several months. Mm-hmm. But this lady was, she believed in me, let's say, and that's what she said, that, okay, you're worth it, I believe, and okay, I will help you. And she said it as simple as that. And I told her, do you understand that I need this and that and that? And she said, yeah, okay. And it was like that. So it was a bit difficult to believe in the beginning that, okay, finally I found it. But she was really, and she is actually still very supportive and helpful. And that's what happened. We started talking about papers. We finished the job part, the contract, whatever, and then we started talking, okay, how to do it. And I had to do most of the part myself. I had to tell her what she needs to prepare. So I need this and this and that from you, and I need this and that from myself. And I was running, talking, calling, asking for information, reading online.
So what kind of general advice / message would you give to any maybe or viewers who might be looking for a job here in Finland? So what kind of tips or message would you have?
The first one, I believe, is to believe in yourself, and that whether you are in Finland or in any other place, if you believe that you have what it takes and you are skilled in what you're doing, then it wouldn't matter where you are. So you should always believe in that. And then second is to isolate yourself from all the negativity, because I faced a lot of that. Many people and many pages, and they were saying a lot of things, and I believe that part of it is true, but also if you want to do something, you need to stay focused, and it required a lot of work. I must say for 3 months or 4, I was 8 hours a day working on my laptop at home every day.
For the jobs?
For the jobs.
Oh, wow.
Translating Finnish, there are lots of things that were in Finnish and English was not possible. So I had to copy, go, try to understand what the job is. I had to spend, because also the applications are different and the way you send to people is different. You cannot copy the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it requires time to write and to show your skills to each person. It required a lot of work every day. Get support from people, friends, loved ones. That's very important, because I also had some breakdown moments where I was feeling a little bit like tired, not like losing hope, but I knew that I would get something eventually, but just tired, because the process was a bit nerve-wracking, I must say. So
yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
You need people and you need the support, and I was lucky. I am still lucky to find that. So some people would say making connections is very important, that nowadays networking is the key, you need to go. In my case, I'm not very good at this, where I can go and sell myself to people and that's not my thing, but for those who have that skill, I would say that would also work. If you go and talk, or LinkedIn, or I don't know, because I could see also many people here could get jobs through that. That a friend calls and say, hey, we are looking for this, and
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So networking is actually very important in Finland, especially for jobs.
Not in my case, but yes, I could see it's really working. So I would also recommend that if the person has the skills to do it.
Okay, excellent. And maybe for the last question, do you have any practical tips or hacks that you found during your journey that might help for other people as well?
The most important one, at least in my case, changing strategies when applying, because when I see how I was applying because it's also a learning process, let's say, I learned how to do interviews way better, because when you do them for long months, you are able to see if you did well or not, what you need to change. You're analyzing your performance, let's say. And I had to change strategies. First, I had to change the type of jobs I was applying for, because I also was applying for jobs that are super difficult to get, let's say, especially in companies, because I have experience as administrative assistant, HR, and this, and it was super difficult to get. So in the beginning, I was focusing on these jobs. Then I had to change and to see for kindergartens, schools, and that's how it worked. I could see that the responses were more and they were increasing when I started applying in that area than in the administrative or business area. So as I said, you need to analyze, you need to see what's going right, what's going wrong. And you need also to ask, I would say, people. I always asked friends or people that are here if they know something, if what I'm doing is right, how is the Finnish market, let's say, what it is the employer expecting you to be like, or because at the end, the interviews also depends on your intelligence, how to convince the other person. So that also differs from, let's say, Spanish to Finnish people.
Yeah, but of course. Yeah.
So I had to see, and also I had to ask about these, and I had to see it also myself from the interviews. I was meeting lots of Finnish people back then, and I had to see what they are expecting. So yeah, you need to be aware of this. And
was Finnish language involved in at any part of your process? Where was the employer, for example, expecting any Finnish skills, or
yes and no. For example, I got some, let's say, offers from people who asked if I have any Finnish, and then when I said no, they were like, oh, I'm so sorry, it requires both English and Finnish. There were also, especially in kindergarten, like right now, I am teaching older kids, let's say almost preschoolers, because I cannot be with the little ones. It requires Finnish as well. Otherwise, it's difficult. So yes, there are some restrictions to some jobs, and that's why now I'm actually starting a Finnish course. I don't know how my Finnish will go. That's another story, but I would like to try and know a little bit because I believe it will open more doors.
Definitely, yeah.
For at least professionally, but yes, I face this when people ask, don't you know anything, any Finnish, for example, some nanny jobs, also companies, HR, and these, many responses, I got that the reason why they're not going further is that I do not speak Finnish.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. You know, you have an interesting, CV, but we need somebody who is like bilingual in that sense, and which is not in my case. So that also can be a challenge. And I would say that it's very important here, maybe in my case, because others say I got lucky because I'm an English teacher and that can work anywhere. But I do understand that some jobs here, for example, require only Finnish, so it makes it more difficult for non-Finnish speakers to get a job. But I don't know if I would consider this luck or not, but yeah.
But the job you found did not require any Finnish skills?
No, it's a bilingual school, so they have both speakers. So some teachers are Finnish, others are English. In my case, I was hired as an English speaker, an English teacher. So learning Finnish is not required. And actually, people or the parents there, they are happy that I don't speak Finnish because they believe that their children need this in order to improve and learn, because they say that if I speak Finnish, then I would use it while teaching and the kids would know that I know, so they will stop trying to learn or communicate with me in English. So in my working place, I think it is an advantage and everybody is happy with the fact that I don't speak it, but maybe it's a different story in other places.
I see, okay.
And also a very important thing that you need to know, for example, if you are working in an area, you need to know what do they need from you. So if you are lacking a skill, go take a course and fulfill that one. If they need something, because also you cannot work or wanting to work in a place and you are lacking very important skills. Like in my case, Finnish may be important, but not the most important thing because the focus is on English teaching. But if it was important, and I believe it is in some places, and that's why I want to fulfill that skill as well, at least a little bit, like to the extent that would allow me to get different jobs or more opportunities in the future. So that's something you need to understand what you are good at. You need to apply to the right places, and you need to see what it takes and start working on it. So if you need to take a course or study something or learn something, then start doing it and keep applying, and you will get something eventually, I believe.
Awesome. Let's give a thumbs up to Malak for sharing her story, and make sure to check out the playlist on how to find a job here in Finland. It's gonna be popping up right here, and make sure to subscribe for more fantastic videos in the future. I'll see you in the next video. So moro.